Right. We're going to do a quick energy update. Might as well put this guy back in there. Just tried one and it just, I don't know, the energy was just not aligned. So I am tuning in always and only to messages from the highest vibration of love and light, and always and only in the highest good of anyone who receives. So if you're coming upon this video, hang out. There might be a nugget of wisdom in here for you. Again, as always, take what resonates, leave the rest. Don't try to force anything to be true in your life if it's not. Don't try to, wrap it around your life if it's not fitting. Don't try to force that square peg into the round hole. It's not. If it's not resonating, then it's not meant for you. If it's triggering you, then it might be meant for you in a different way, where you're maybe planting a seed to show you that the universe is trying to give you the opportunity to look at something. I could say, oh, you're about to heal something big and it's going to suck. I like to think of it as the universe is giving you the opportunity to heal this. Are you going to do it? So I'm going to start with something fun. You could say no. You could fucking say no. With the Star Trek deck, which I haven't had out in a while. Um, and let's just get an overall energy. And I love these. I love these cards. So if you don't know, this deck is by Telekayad. I think that's how you say it. It is StarTrek.com, but it's Telekayad, Telekayad. I'll try to put the link for this deck in the, if I remember. I'll try to remember to put the link because it's an amazing deck. Somebody in their infinite wisdom figured out that there were 78 episodes in the original series and there are 78 tarot cards. So yes, every card is a different episode and it's every episode in the original series, which is super cool. I mean, come on. We know Gene Roddenberry knew stuff, right? He knew stuff. So let's get an overall energy. Oh, okay. It came up. Oh, I like this. So we got the Fool. Duh. I mean, this aligns with everything I'm seeing for March. Absolutely. If I say that a lot, I apologize if anybody's got sensitive ears. I might not be the one for you. I'm just fucking saying, because I'm going to say it a lot because there's just so much intensity and passion coming through in March that is going to, what I see is it's going through this sieve, kind of, it's being sifted. And so anything that is passion related to an attachment or something not healthy for you is going to be left back there. Okay. It's going to be left back there. And anything that is authentic passion from something that feeds your soul, from someone who feeds your soul, from anything that you want to move toward, that's going to stay. And it's not only going to stay, it's going to be more prominent, it's going to be more powerful, it's going to bring you more clarity. So I love that. The thing is that he did come out in reverse, but I don't want to worry about that. I want to ignore that. No, I'm kidding. We will get through that. It says curiosity, the way to Eden. Let's look up the episode because I don't remember. I don't remember all the episodes. I do need to look them up. The Fool. I turned almost right to it. The 22 unsuited cards, known as the major arcana cards, are sometimes said to represent facets of a story called The Fool's Journey. If you didn't know that, the tarot deck is actually a story that unfolds for a hero, which would be anyone who is being read for, someone that is being read for. Or if you're pulling cards for yourself, you are the hero on the journey. Um, it's through social, moral, and ultimately spiritual influences. The Fool card indicates curiosity and travel, either physical or on a path of self discovery. Yeah, the Fool card for me comes through as you are being asked to take a leap of faith. You're at the top of the cliff. You've been through battle. Maybe your whole life you've been through battle. You're standing at the top of the cliff. A lot of the cards depict the Fool. Well, you've seen some cards depict the Fool in armor, in full regalia, like he just came out of this big battle and he's got a sword, but the sword is hanging at his side and he looks exhausted. He's done fighting. He's done fighting to hold on to the things that are no longer working for him. And so the Fool is standing at the cliff looking at this amazing, beautiful view down below, knowing that that's where he wants to be, and knowing that if he takes the long way, he's never going to get to where he wants to be. So he's about to jump. He's about to jump. And the reason it's called the Fool is not just because it does seem insane to take a giant leap sometimes in our lives. It's because other people are going to look at you and go, look at that fool. Look at that fool. What an idiot. In the meantime, you're getting everything you want and they're stuck in whatever reality they want to be stuck in. They can see you as the fool all they want, but you are making your dreams come true. So, the fool is free to make choices, whether mindful of the consequences or not. Modern images of the fool often depict a carefree innocent, unaware of the potential danger of his next step. So it's almost like you're so ready to take the step, you don't even realize how big it's going to be until you've taken it. Like you've felt kind of the weight of it in the past, and now you're just like, okay, this. Why does this feel so much easier and better? And why do I, when I look back, I don't want any of that anymore. I don't want any of that. And I will tell you, as someone who in just the last year, less than actually, I've transformed my entire life. I walked away basically from everything except my closest friends and my children. I walked away from everything, and I have never felt better. I have never felt more free. I have never felt more like me. So let's see. And I'm just getting hot. Just kidding. Just kidding. Um, A darker characterization may present a fool driven by base urges on a path to self-inflicted deprivation or poverty. That's not what I'm saying. We're gonna just remind, delete that. We're not. That's not what I'm saying. Inverted, the fool may suggest the potential folly of acting quickly or rashly without sufficient forethought. Progress requires action, but all actions have consequences. That is not what I'm feeling with this. I know he came out in reverse. What I'm feeling with this is there's still a little bit of resistance, and you're caring too much about what other people are gonna say, what other people are gonna think. In fact, for a lot of you, you're caring about, "Oh, I can't leave them behind. If I jump, what are they gonna do?" You can't worry about that anymore. The thing is the longer we wait for people, the more opportunities we miss for ourselves. And when you jump, it is ultimately not only in your highest good, but in theirs too. Because then they're made, whatever role you played in their lives, they're made to look at their lives and go, well, shit, I got to do this for myself now. What if that brings major growth for them? What if that is huge for them? What if ultimately down the road they come and thank you for taking that leap that maybe distanced you from them, but also forced them to take control of their own lives. Okay, so that's what I'm getting from this. Let's see what the actual episode was about because I'm trying to remember. In The Way to Eden, the Enterprise rescues a band of young and inexperienced explorers from a damaged shuttlecraft. The group shuns the traditional trappings of the Federation and mocks Captain Kirk as authoritarian and stiff. They are eager to find a mythical Eden planet where they intend to start a new colony of their own. Their methods and goals are initially dismissed by the Enterprise crew as unorthodox, but harmless. Adam, I love this because frickin' Adam is coming through. Like, this is really symbolic of like a brand new path for you. It's like, okay, Adam was, okay, there, don't come at me, but he was the first man. Let's just go with that. He wasn't, but he was the first man, right? God created Adam in his image. And so if you think of it that way, it's like the purest form of the divine masculine energy is now being asked, oh, this is good, is now being asked to make the leap. Men, listen fucking up right now because you're being asked to do something. Whatever it is, it's going to be different for all of you, whether it is to quit your job and take something new that you've been wanting to take but was risky. I feel like even if it's risky, even if it doesn't last, it's going to bring you that next step. Okay, so go for it. Um, because you're being asked to step into a masculine energy that perhaps for a lot of you, you've never felt before. It is the true divine blueprint of the masculine. Okay, so if you've lived your life kind of in a more maybe beta male, right? We know what those are. Omega male, if you don't know what those are. It's like not the alpha. No, I'm not talking about alpha asshole, arrogant guys. I'm talking about the divine alpha man, the true man who knows his role, who cherishes his woman, who protects her, who protects his home, who steps up, who's got her back, who's his whole family, who protects his people, okay? And knows who is worthy of protecting. I don't want to say worthy because everybody's worthy of protecting, but knows who is his to protect and who is somebody else's. So here's the thing, what I'm getting is for a lot of you, if you've been in the energy, it's been warped, it's been spread thin because you're trying to protect everyone in your world, and you can't do that. You have to look at who is meant for you to protect, okay? I'm gonna get more clarity on that. Adam and others entertain the crew with musical performances, distracting them, while their leader, Dr. Severin, schemes to steal one of the Enterprise's shuttles. The group continues to follow the unwavering beliefs of their leader as he brings them first into danger, then to criminal action and near murder, and ultimately to an alien planet where several die from toxic plants, including Severin and Adam. And it's so funny too, because to me, this is like the Enterprise really, really stifling some very new energy that is trying to come through, and the Enterprise is like the old system going, nope, nope, you're being stupid, we're not going to let you do this. And I think if they had just let them, they would have been just fine. And so it's interesting, that is really interesting to me. So let's start our little story. I don't have a ton of time. We've got a kid coming in about 20 minutes, so we're going to get this done. Ooh, I love this, and it is this man, right? This man who seems like an idiot, but is he? Or was he a visionary? Was he somebody who was, like, just trying to create a better world? Because he saw all this old shit and he didn't want anything to do with it, and so he's trying to find Eden, right? He's trying to find a new place to start over, and if he had just been allowed to do that, right? And so now we're in an energy of, "Nobody can stand in your way, man. No one is standing in your way but you." Okay. So you're on the cliff. You're on the cliff. You're like teetering on the cliff. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? It's a good thing to take a leap of faith. It's always a good thing. Even if it doesn't ultimately work out, it's gonna lead you to the next thing and the next thing. Like for a job, often people are like, oh, well, I took that job and then it didn't work out. But then they realize, oh, but somebody in that job led them to the next job and that was their dream job. So there's always going to be something that you're gonna gain from it. There is never, like I like to say, we don't make mistakes, we just take the long way around sometimes, right? We just take the side quests. And so it's important to keep that into perspective that when you are don't overthink the jumping, right? Because, and there are things that you jump and you go for, and they're just not there and you're grasping at nothing. But what you're actually going for is like behind it. Okay, let me explain that. What's coming? Let's get clarity on that because what I'm seeing is I think for some of you, what you think what you think you're going toward, yeah, I'm just hot right now. What you think you're going toward is actually just a kind of a doorway into something even bigger. Like for some of you, if you were trying to go toward, well, I'll just use an example. If you're trying to go toward, just use the easy example, right? If you're going towards someone, if you're trying to go toward a relationship and you want the relationship, but you're nervous, you're scared, you're whatever, and when you fully commit and fucking jump and do it and let go of everything back here that's pulling on you, that's going, no, that's crazy. What are you doing? That's crazy. We need you back here. They're doing that for their own selfish reasons. They're not bad people. They just don't want you to go because you have fulfilled a role for them that they have become unaware that they can fill for themselves. Again, when you jump, that's going to force them to step up and it's going to be better for everybody. But you're going to jump and you're going to realize, hey, this relationship is not only great, but it's opened up maybe a career opportunity, maybe a financial opportunity, maybe just something else will fall. It's like this doorway into something even bigger. Okay. So let's get something. Let's get it's a little bit overwhelmed, men. I feel like the men are really overwhelmed. And there's a lot of you, and I don't get a lot of men on here, and that's fine. So, women share with the men in your lives if you feel so called. Because I do feel like this is going to be a lot for men, but it's important for us to know these messages too, because gosh, men, we jumped. I need you to know that the women, we fucking jumped already. We did it. So if you want where we are, if you want to be where we are, then you have to jump. You have to jump. And this isn't even about relationships. I'm not even talking about relationships. I'm talking about society in general. Like so many women, the divine feminine has already made the leap. We did it. We've been through the 7 levels of life. We have climbed out the top just this end of 2024 and into this year. We are climbing out the top into the sunshine once again to be raw and vulnerable and real and to start fucking creating. And we would love it if you would jump to and be by our sides. We would love it. But we're not going to wait. Okay. We're not going to wait. We can't wait. There's no waiting. We have to keep going. And that's just for survival. Like, we don't want to necessarily. We'd love to wait, hang out, and set up camp on top of the cliff and go, okay, well, we're at the bottom of the cliff, really, right? I'd be like, okay, I see him. Is he gonna jump? No, he's not gonna jump. No, he's just gonna sit there. He's gonna stand there. Oh, now he's sitting again. What does he d Jump already, like, we're down there looking like we could do that, but that is going to stifle our journey and delay our journey, and we don't want that anymore. We're ready to go, guys. We're ready to go. So we're gonna go, and it doesn't mean you can't catch up. It just means we're not waiting. We're not waiting. We're not waiting. So do what you gotta do. Take your time, whatever you gotta do, but, just know that, you're gonna figure it out. Okay, cool, yeah. I mean, obviously, transformation, you're being asked to jump because the universe wants to transform you into the best version of you. I mean, this is a simple thing. And then surrender to the journey. I mean, this is all this easy stuff, right? Release control. So a lot of people are in the mindset of that everybody else and everything else controls them. And that is never true. Okay. That's never true. What's really going on is you're allowing them to control you. And so, in essence, you're in control. You just don't know how to exist any other way but being everybody else's, right? And being there for everybody else, living everybody else's life. So many men right now, like I could name 50 off the top of my head that I know. So many men right now are living everybody else's life. Everybody else around them just living everybody else's lives. How long are you going to do that? Like, and then bitching about it. How long are you going to do that? How long are you going to keep that going? How long can you maintain that? Like, nobody, they're not going to change. So, do you want to do this forever, or would you like to transform? Would you like to transform? A fresh new way of living emerges if you jump. And this is the message too. It's like, yeah, you're going to jump and burn everything to the ground that you've been doing. All the old is going to burn to the ground, and you're going to reemerge from the ashes with wings. So this is why we talk about the jumping off the cliff, why it's a jumping. Because I had somebody say to me, "Oh no, that sounds bad. Like, you can't jump off a cliff." Yeah, you have to, because guess what? You've got wings. You've got wings. So surrendering to the journey. I love this card because it reminds me of an image that I saw in the south of France of Mary Magdalene arriving on the shores of France in that area, fully pregnant with a child and just kind of somber in this boat. No fanfare, no celebration, just this widow who was due to give birth any minute and already had a child. If you don't know the story, I'm not telling it right now, but it's just this beautiful, like, new start. And it doesn't mean, just because she had to leave her husband because he was no longer alive, right? She had to escape. That's not, don't take that literally. Really, what the message is she had to leave everything she knew behind to start a new life because everything that she knew wasn't serving her anymore. It was no longer safe for her to be there. And that's the harsh reality of her story. Taking shelter, the answers are within. So, men, this is where you've been. This is where you've been. And for a lot of women too, if you have a really prominent divine masculine energy, this is for you too. I don't care what the vessel looks like. It's whatever you came here to emanate in the world. The answers are within. So I feel like this is where you've been. Look at the winter. We're still in it a little bit. Like, I feel like the men are just now congregating at the cliff. You don't have to jump today, guys. You don't have to jump today, but you know, if you're gonna wait, I'm picturing all these men and, like, what do? They always wait for okay, who's gonna be the brave one to go first? And then they'll all go, right? It's gonna be the lemmings. I hate to No shade, man, I promise. It just is like, we get frustrated. I'm gonna be honest with you. We get frustrated when we do the shit and then, like, well, maybe should we? I don't know, should we? You're gonna wait for the brave one to go. Who's gonna go first? Who's gonna go first? And so this is where you've been. We're still kind of in it. We're coming out of it. It's a very hermiting, it's a very hibernation mode. It's where you've been. And you may have felt even like just exhausted all the time or just needing to rest, needing to be alone, needing stillness. That's beautiful. Men, that is feminine energy. I hate to break it to you. I hope you're good with that. That is feminine energy when you go inward, when you rest, when you're in stillness, when you just feel like, even if you just want to like lay in bed and be in the dark, like that is basking in feminine energy. And the healing journey ultimately, when you really go in and you look at the things that are holding you back, and you want to let go of those things because you want to move forward more than anything, because staying where you are is going to kill you. I'm not going to mince words anymore. Staying where you are is going to kill you. And so you've been in this stillness, but you've been doing stuff, I promise. Like, I know you've all been telling yourself to stop, but so lazy this winter, haven't done anything. Not true. You have done a lot. You have done a lot of healing of your masculine and feminine. So now the universe is asking you to let that masculine back out of the cage. It's okay. He's not going to destroy everything. He's not going to freak out and beat everybody up. He's just not gonna. And because now he's ready, because he's got this beautiful divine feminine supporting him. This is all within, right? I'm not even talking about external people, all within, because you've been doing the work, guys. You have, I promise. And so now the masculine can come out. So I got this new deck with my sisters recently, my soul sisters. Let's get three more. And I'm hoping my kid isn't early, or I'll pause maybe for a second. I might just try to wrap it up. Yeah, inner conflict. So there's inner conflict, morality, conscious choice. There it is, the dragon's duel. So you felt like you've been fighting. Like I said, you have felt like you've been fighting. But notice, if you can't really tell, this dragon is a really vibrant, like deep teal color. This dragon almost looks like it's dead. And he's just kind of dropping a corpse. And that is perfect for, I can't figure it out, you guys. I can't figure it out. It's backwards and it's really bugging me. It's not mirror. It's like, what the fuck? And so this dragon is dropping the stuff that's killing him, that would drag him down if he didn't let go of it. And inner conflict, yep, you've been there. You've been there. You're coming to the end of it. You're doing it. Morality, you're starting to make choices that are less, maybe for some of you, maybe you've been in that world where you're like not really doing, moral thing. Time to be done with that. Okay. You want to be better than that. The shadow queen, beautiful. Like, this is what you've been healing. You've been essentially the shadow queen, going into your shadows and healing this, acquiring knowledge, insecurity, manipulation. All right, so you're done being manipulated, and you're coming out of that energy, and you're becoming wiser. Okay, and this insecurity that you felt, like, it's time to jump despite feeling, because where you're going is going to offer you security. You're going to be able to create security. You can't create security in an old world that is no longer serving you, in an old reality that maybe did serve you great. And of course it did for a certain time, but now it's not anymore. And it's time for you to move out of that, and to really look at that and see that. And then so you got the shadow queen and the queen of light. Like, that's a beautiful way to end this, because you're coming out into the light now. The women were out here, illumination, enlightenment, celebration. This is going to happen when you jump. Okay, it's going to happen when you jump. Let's pull one more. Like, I think this is just perfection. And they're 5, 7, 6, 5, 6, 7. Like, forward movement. The cards are 5, 6, 7. Like, that's incredible. Okay, what do we want? Yeah. And yeah. And then this is an Oracle deck, but this is what I consider the Fool card in this deck. And this is my, I can get it up here. He should be here in a minute. This is my Sacred Traveler deck, which is my favorite deck. I call this the Fool card because look, he's literally standing on the cliff. All is possible. You have to make a choice. It's time for you to choose what you want to do, and you can choose to stay where you're at. And I promise you, it will be well. Here's the thing, the universe won't let you. The universe won't let you, and the more you resist, the more your physical body reacts, right? Like, any discomfort is caused by resistance, by emotional, trauma and resistance. And this was at the bottom of the deck. Like, these are guys, the women are here. We've stepped into our leadership roles. We are holding the light for you. All you got to do is follow it.